I need you to understand that if bloodshed from us is required in order to restore this requires for us to use absolute maximum constitutional resolve, even if unprecedented and non traditional, in order to ensure that this never happens again. And this requires removing that responsibility from the ones who caused it in Congress and actually fixing it through the available channels that we have. However, that is realigned in order to position the reality that all branches are compromised. One, what's going to be required is to dissolve the executive under quote warranto or something similar to that, the reality that he's not even supposed to be there because he is illegitimate given that he participated in election interference in 2021 for the 2020 presidential election. The reality that we allowed for him to even go in means that we created the Constitution as optional when that shouldn't be the reality. Unfortunately, judges have judicial immunity, so technically they can choose how they wish. This tells us that every single branch has been maximizing on constitutional ambiguity in order to advance his platform, that is what a judicial coup, which was Trump versus Anderson, a legislative coup, which was not impeaching him in the Senate. With all of this reality, we require to literally remove every single MAGA attached politician in our Congress under the guarantee clause and ensure that they will never serve an elected role again. For what? For being traitors. For what? For treason. This is a legislative coup. This is a constitutional coup. And therefore, they cannot be trusted. And even our side, the Democrat side, because they have not positioned themselves as an opposition team, which means that either they are compromised or they don't have the backbone to defend us, which they should because they took an oath to the Constitution. In this reality, there must be special elections for every single elected position in Congress. We cannot trust for the same Congress who made us go down this route when it was preventable to fix it. In this reality, we're going to have a new Congress, with the goal being to invoke a constitutional convention. No, not the convention of states that you will find on the website that is actually conservative. A new proposal where either we're going to fix the Constitution or we're going to replace it altogether. Through what? The state delegate route. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of how this works because first we need to become comfortable with the reality of this being possible. Because you're going to think, well, we can't do that. We can't do that with this current Congress. And it's because we're not going to do it with this current Congress. In order for our resistance to stop, they have to promise us to give us special elections immediately to where we can replace Congress. Also to dissolve the illegitimate presidency. That's where the national strategy thing that Joe Biden had put in will come into play. Probably a temporary president. I wouldn't be against Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, probably until a special election or whatever it is that the new Congress chooses. But we have to demand for entire special elections, not waiting until 2026, I guess, unless we wait until 2026 to fix this. But as soon as this culminates and we succeed in dissolving the executive as lawfully and constitutionally required to restore legitimacy, we have to change Congress. And with that, we have to remove the Supreme Court judges who went against the Constitution during Anderson versus Trump, and also the ones who gave him immunity. Why I already positioned this, but basically they went against Federalist 83, which positions that good behavior is in alignment with the Constitution. They were not in alignment with the Constitution. They created their own logic based on the political status quo versus the constitutional status quo. In this reality, I would say that only within this unprecedented situation will we, the people, be allowed to vote for their justices that are being replaced with a popular vote? We cannot spend any longer in this system that obviously is not even putting on the brakes to this regime. We need to make sure it never occurs again, and that's possible that we maybe have to split because maybe not all the states will want to ratify a new constitution. In that reality, I'm open to us becoming two various differing autonomous territories within a one country union that maybe will serve as an economic and military alliance rather than an actual national country. In that reality, for instance, blue states will not be giving money into the red states for their needs, but only keeping that to ourselves or within the states that are part of that autonomous territory, at least until all of the states ratify that new constitution. It's it. That's it. That's it. Please grieve the America we knew. Because it's either going to be a tyrant America or it's going to be the rebirth of a more perfect union. And hopefully it's the latter.